Hello my beautiful people, you are welcome back to today's tutorial. How are you guys doing? I love you friends for your support, and please, if you are new to this channel, please click on the subscribe button there, and also please turn on your notification bell so that each time I upload a new video you will get notified. So guys, I've chosen the thumbnail. So in today's class I'll be showing you guys how to cut and sew a scissors neck corset. It's really simple. So you can see we have drafted it out already. Actually, I've done video on this, so I'll be dropping the link. So for more details, just click on the link. So you can see this is the fabric we're working with. This is our stay, this is our wadding, and also our lining. Okay, so let's quickly put all this aside. So for those that are new to my channel, let me quickly give brief explanation on what we have on our table. So this is our upper chest, the waist dart, 2 inches on both sides. The arm wide came down 0.5 inch. The neck depth, actually I'll not make use of the neck depth. The back panel is loop, so I went in, also subtracted 2 inches, making it 4 inches. So the waist dart also for the back 1 inch. So let's move over to the front panel. For the V shape, is optional. Actually, I'm not making use of the V shape. If you are making use of that, I also done a video on that. I'll also drop the link. So let's quickly cut it out. So the back neck depth is optional. So I went in 0.5 inch there. Make a bit slanted. See, the back waist dart is also 1 inch on both sides, 0.5 inch on each piece. I won't cut it open. So done with the back panel. Let's concentrate on the front panel. The dart replacement, I've done that, 2 inches waist dart. Same allowance I've added as well. So it's time to create our scissors neck line. So for the center of our front piece, I make use of 0.7 inch. If you decide to work with 1 inch from the neck depth, place your tape on your bust line. If you decide to work with 2 inches or 2.5 inches, mine I'm working with 3 inches. So for the dot lines, you decide to connect that way to the center of your front panel. You go in deeper. It's optional as well. Please ignore my marker. So make use of our bust band, divide by 2, that's our nipple to nipple. Note, this is our dart allowance, excuse me, which I've also added the replacement to avoid shortage after stitching. So for the center, which was our neck depth, we'll move over to our shoulder. Note the shoulder, the same allowance on that shoulder I added 0.5 inch. But I'm not making use of that because we're cutting both front and back panel. So for shoulder, we'll mark out our bust band, divide by 2, that's nipple to nipple. Connect it to meet the center of our front piece. So actually, you can cut out your corset and just trace this later. But for beginners, I decided to explain this. I'll also explain that while stitching. You see, this is how it should look like. But the 0.5 inch for the same allowance for the shoulder, won't be making use of that. But we cut both the front and the back scissors neckline together. So I have to quickly measure the back neck depth. See what we have, 9 inches. The front is 7 inches, approximately 6.5 inches. Sorry. So I add it up, we'll be having a 15.5 inches. So we'll cut at least 20 inches length. We'll be making use of same allowance, which will be attaching to the corset, the cup area, and to the back neck depth. So blend it properly. This is actually not necessary, just for sake of the beginners. So for the shoulder towards the arm, we could decide to go in 0.5 inch. So we want to quick cut it out now because I'm not making use of the V shape. By making use of that, I'll also be dropping the link. I've done detailed video on that. So this is how I should cut it out. So we decide to work with the dots line, and you go in this way. So this is how it should look like when you are done. So for the waist dart, excuse me, cut it out because we'll transfer this to our fabric. We are done cutting it out. The only difference, that we'll be adding 0.5 inch round on the cup area for the same allowance, and also cut our lining this way. Add our stitch to our lining and our wording to our corset at the cup area. That is it. So while transferring to a fabric, ensure you pin it down. So you could decide to work with 3-piece corset. I'm working with just 2-piece corsets. So this is how it should look like when you are done cutting it out. So we are going to trace this out to our main fabric. So that is it, guys. It's very simple. So this is it. And you see what we have. So you can see we are done tracing it out. Our lining, you can see. So for the cup area, you decide to use plain fabric on your cup area. Mine will working this with the same fabric because I'll be using my trims to cover it up, to embellish my cup area. So that is it. We'll move over to our ironing table, add our stitch to our lining, our wording to our cup area as our corset. The back panel, I didn't cut it that open. I only stitch on it. So this is scissors neckline. That's what I was telling you guys. The lining is shorter. I don't want to, so my line will bulge out. So for the down part, I've not trimmed it out yet. So I have to quickly use a line to turn it to make sure everything sits properly and give it a very nice press. So the cup, you can see I've also done the cutting as well, the lining. So we'll pin it down so that you will not make mistake while stitching. So we'll move over to our ironing table, add our interfacing, then over to our sewing machine to stitch. So we are done adding our interfacing. You can see this is our cup area, our lining. I didn't add a stitch to my main fabric. So this is how it should look like. Note my neck depth is not that deep, so this is how it should look like. So it's optional. So the shining part is the part that you iron to your lining. So the back pan, I've done the same as well. Let me put it aside. So quickly introduce the main bodice. So I not also add any stay to my main fabric. I only did that on my lining. So this how it should look like. So but more details, just click on the link. So I've decided to use two, that is my skin net, as my cross neck, scissors cross neck. So by the time you stitch your cup this way, you have your nipple to nipple measurement. Note we need 0.5 inch. We added 0.5 inch round for the cup area. So I've also added on the two because I'll be sewing it and turning it in. So that is it. So this is how it should look like. You can see it has taken the form already. So just 0.5 inch. But for the neck area, I will be going in more. So I will show you guys when we go to that stage. You can see the paper. So I didn't cut, excuse me, I didn't curve it at the moment. I need to join our cup. So this is it. 0.5 inch round. Sorry guys, I'm a bit fast here because I've done detailed video on this. So this is a boning. Actually, I'll be making use of bone. That is why I said to change my upper, that is neckline, scissors neckline, to my skin net. So I will stitch on this and place it outside this way. I use my skin net. Though I've done video on this, I'll be uploading the video soon. How to create a boning a casing using your tool. So this is it. So quickly move over to our sewing machine now to join our cups. Show you guys. So guys, we are done joining our cups. Sorry, I'm a bit fast here because I've actually done video on this. I've said that before, so I'll be dropping the link. So next thing, you notch it round this way. Notch your cups, both your lining. If you want to top stitch on it, you can do that, but ensure you give it a very nice press. Yeah, open it up this way, give it a very nice press, top stitch, so everything will sit properly. So let me show you guys how to easiest way to stitch on your cup. So make sure the dot line this way matches. So take your straight line pin, okay, pin it round, both your lining. So, and note, we will be stitching on our lining separately. Okay, so we are going to join our main threads that are fabric, both the front and back panel, separately. So I will do the same to the lining as well. So take your time, pin it round this way. So guys, when we're done pinning it round, we'll be moving over to our sewing machine to stitch it round. As I said before, do the same to our lining. That's our cups lining. The same for the cross neck scissors. I've done that also. Yes, so it's very simple, guys. Patiently pin it round, stitch, and give it a very nice press. Checking my camera is recording. Sorry about that. Do the same to your lining and stitch and show you guys. So guys, we are done stitching it. You can see we have fixed our cups, both the lining. Is our tool that we're using as our scissors neckline. You could decide to use velvet, but make sure the dot line matches. Okay, give it a very nice press. I'll be using trims to cover it up. My dot lines on that bust round when I'm done. Decide to add your boning this way. I will not be making use of it right now. I'll be doing that much later. 0.5 inch. So I've also joined my skin net, the rough area. That is the joining part, because it's into two there. I've turned it this way to be in between my bows. Okay, you can see. So you could decide to trim it out, but make sure it matches between your cup area. Do the same on the second cup. Place it properly. The joining part is close to is the midpoint that's in between the bows. Make sure everything matches this way. So be sure, flip it in to make sure on the right track. See, it has taken the form already. Decide to cut it out, but it's easier this way. When you are done stitching on it, then you cut it out. So take my straight line pin, pin it. I will be stitching with just 0.5 inch or 0.3 bars. Pin it this way. So this is how you pin it down for easy sewing. It's just the cup area. So guys, it's very simple. Stitch, I've said that before. I'll show you guys. So when you're done, you trim out the unwanted parts this way. See how beautiful it looks. So the length, note, will measure 15.5 inches. So this is how to take the measurement, because you'll be using your line to turn it. I didn't place it properly. Let me do that now. So I'm marking 16 inches. Because of the same allowance, I'll be attaching to the back piece. So the left to the right hand side, because that is why it's called cross neckline. See, but after doing this, before stitching on the back piece, make sure you fit it to make sure everything relax properly. So this is how it should look like. The joining part is towards my armhole. I'll be creating my loop, adding my boning later. So mark it. The width I use is 2.5 inches. We decide to use 3 inches. So it's optional. You mark it, you flip it in. Because we're using our line to turn it. Cut out the unwanted part, 0.5 inch, exactly what we use on the front panel. Mark it, remove the pin, flip it in. I place it after my waist dart. So this is it. Trim out the unwanted parts, like what we did on the front panel. So I have to introduce our lining now. To cover up the neckline. You will stitch after your first stitch. Round. So I done stitching it, so I have to clean notch it round also. Give it a very nice press. So turn it in this way, you can see how everything matches. So we have to now top stitch. Place it this way, top stitch on the wrong side. Actually, I've done detailed video on this, so the link will be there. I've said that before. So I'm done top stitching it. See how everything sits properly. Flip it in. You can see we have our bias on the table. We're going to create our loop. But please make sure you give it a very nice press. I can't do that right now. Trim out the unwanted parts. So I'll be joining my to down part of my gown. This is my half bodice. Trim out the unwanted parts. Just make sure everything matches. So I will lose this part by 1 inch. The part we're going to add our loop. So you can see I have my bias here already. So lose it this way. Mine is a bit tight. So I'm done losing it. So I will fold my bias this way, stitch on it. So I'm just working with 1 inch interval. And note, I'll be doing this on the other piece also. So the down part is my gown. So I have 8 lines. So I'll be creating 16. So to find the length, I'll be using 3 inches. So it depends how wide you want yours to be. So let me sew it now, show you guys. So I'm trimming them out. So I'm done trimming them out. So you flip it this way, send the right side in. If you are making use of boning, you place your boning. You could decide to work with inside boning or outside boning is optional. So you fold it this way, you stitch on it this way separately. So note, you also be folding your lining this way. Pin it down. All around both the other side. But the second part, I won't be showing you guys that part. So just watch closely here. This is for beginners. Yes. So they should pin it down. So I'll be taking to my sewing machine to stitch and quickly show you guys. So you can see guys, I'm done stitching on it. So I will do the same to the other piece. So for the lining, this is how you fold it in. The same 1 inch you went in with. Give it a nice press. Flip it in this way for neat finishing. See how everything sits properly. So let me do that and show you guys. So guys, you can see I'm done stitching on it. Like I said earlier, I will do the same on the other piece. I will add my trims. Give it a very nice press. put it on and show you guys. And please, if you find this video interesting, please click on the subscribe button there, and also please turn on your notification bell so that each time I upload a new video you get notified. I love you all. I remain chill living signature. Bye for now.